Today we're going to talk about the skills assessing authority and requirements for accounting graduates. For those of you who don't know me, I'm an immigration lawyer based in Australia and currently the principal lawyer at Mason Chen Law Group. If you want to get in contact with myself or one of our fantastic lawyers or agents, our contact details are below. I also have mini courses where I talk about all different things related to migration, from different visa types to different skills assessment types, different processes, so you can go and check them out. There are definitely free resources on there, and there are some paid courses there for you to take part in as well. Now today's video is going to be on the skills assessment requirements for a graduate of accounting, which I know a lot of people have actually completed. So let's get stuck into it. First of all, as an accounting graduate, if you meet the requirements, you can apply for PR in Australia. It's not the easiest, however, I don't think it's impossible. So I definitely think it's worth a shot if you've already completed the degree. I always recommend this to my clients. If you've gone ahead and completed a whole bachelor degree in accounting or a whole master's degree in accounting, I really think you should at least complete the skills assessment and lodge your expression of interest, because you never know when you'll get an invitation. Just like the last round of 189 invites, plenty of accountants were invited, and unfortunately a lot of them couldn't use their invitations because they had expired skills assessments or English tests, because basically they lost hope. I never recommend that for my clients. It's something that I always tell them. And a lot of people say, you know, I've been here for like 7 years or 8 years, I still haven't got my PR yet, it's the Australian government, whatever. I think that the Australian government, yes, they do change their requirements here and there, but there's nothing to say that you can't develop the right strategy to get it. I have plenty of clients who received a 189, 190 or 491 as an accounting graduate. So I definitely think it's possible. And I'm talking onshore applicants as well as offshore applicants, totally possible. So if you are a graduate of accounting, to be eligible for PR in Australia, you must first get a skills assessment. Now for the skills assessment, you must have completed a degree at the required level. So it must be a bachelor degree or higher. It cannot be anything below. It can be a bachelor degree or a master's degree, and it must be major in accounting. So those degrees are usually called Bachelor of Accounting, Masters of Professional Accounting, Bachelors of Commerce, Major in Accounting. What they're going to look at is the major core subjects that you study. But what's really important is that you understand whether your degree is at and taught at the required level. That requires you to verify your qualifications. So your agent or your lawyer can assist you to check that to make sure it's equivalent to a bachelor degree. Now this is one of those courses where there is a lot of courses overseas where they say it's a bachelor degree. However, it's only equivalent to an Australian degree because it's an associate degree. If it's under 3 years, that's probably a red flag and it's probably not at the required level. So the rule of thumb is usually a bachelor degree is 3 years or more. So if you've got a bachelor degree at the required level, the next thing you're going to look at is whether you studied the required subjects. Now the skills assessing bodies for an accountant is IPA, CPA and CAANZ. Now the requirements are basically all the same, but today look, let's go through IPA for example. So you head over to the website and you'll check the requirements. The first requirement is that you must have a degree at the required level. The second requirement is that you must have studied 4 accounting subjects for that occupation. Now they assess a number of different occupations. This includes general accountant, management accountant, finance manager, as well as taxation accountant, just to name a few. So they assess a number of different occupations. So depending on that occupation, you must have the relevant subject. So today, let's just look at general accountant. The formal name is accountant bracket general. To be eligible for a skills assessment, you must have studied the bachelor degree and studied the 7 core accounting subjects. So what are those 7 core accounting subjects? They are basic accounting, cost management and accounting, financial accounting and reporting, financial management, economics, business law, statistics, and those are your 7 core accounting subjects that you must have studied. Now, if you are in Australia, they should be called that. However, if the name is slightly different, but you know it's like, you know, related to that subject, it should still be fine. What usually happens in this situation is that they may require you to provide a syllabus. If you studied overseas, you're still still eligible as long as it's at the required level and it's major in accounting and you did those 7 core accounting subjects. However, again, if it's an overseas degree, those subject names may be different. So you've just got to cross-check it or get your representative lawyer agent to help you cross-check that. What we usually do is also ask them to provide a copy of the syllabus. That's usually a big help because it shows actually what you studied. So that's first of all, the basic requirement. The next requirement for a skills assessment in Australia as a general accountant is you must have at least proficient English. Now, there's a couple of ways that you can obtain this. That is equivalent to 65 in each band for PTE or 7 in each band for academic IELTS. You cannot use general IELTS for this, so be very careful. So if you cannot obtain the English requirements and you can only get maximum, let's say 6 each, you can still get the skills assessment, but you must complete a professional year in Australia. So a professional year in accounting is an extra year you study. That's all fine, but realistically speaking, to even be invited for PR later, you need high points. So I don't even think proficient English is enough to get an invitation as an accountant. It's that competitive. Most of your competitors as an accountant will be getting superior. So actually you need to be aiming for superior because that's what most of your peers will be lodging the application with. So super important, that one. So if you meet those requirements, then you should be eligible for a skills assessment as an accountant. So you'll go ahead and lodge that. Now, as I mentioned, most of your peers will have superior English, so it's really a key thing you need to do. The other thing is most of your peers will have quite high points. So if you can do anything to increase your points, then absolutely go for it. This includes, extra 5 points through NATI, any work experience as an accountant, which I know is hard, but it's still something. Like for example, our accountants last year in New South Wales, I think the ones that got invited had 100 points. Victoria was a little bit better. I would say a lot of our accountants who got invited had 80, 85 points, which is very achievable. But it's something to definitely keep in mind. Now, I will do a video on all the different pathways for accountant. As I mentioned, I think it's a strategy thing. I don't think it's impossible to get PR. Look, I do think the 189 and 190 is pretty competitive. You have to have a pretty good profile to be invited for that, which I'll explain. However, if you're an accountant and you don't want to go back to studies, there are ways to get 491. And I think it's a very good option because you can get your PR still. If you're a 491 to 191, you're going to get your PR as long as you don't do anything naughty, like, have any criminal offences while you're on a 491. And regional Australia isn't that bad. You have Gold Coast, you have Perth, heaps of places in New South Wales, Geelong in Victoria, Pakenham in Victoria, as well as South Australia. To me, I wouldn't call them regional places. So there's plenty of options for that. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.